Now that is more fitting for an enemy named the Hoarder. Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to the Division 2. And as you can likely tell by the title of the video, today we're going to be discussing the Loot Goblin, aka the Hoarder enemy. Now today was the deployment and release of the Year 7 Season 1.1 patch, and we knew from the patch notes that the drop quantity for event items that the Loot Goblin carries was being buffed significantly, right? He used to drop 1 item per kill, but now that scales all the way up to potentially 4 items if you're playing on heroic difficulty. What was unknown, however, is if those drops would be back right away, given that right now there is no ongoing seasonal event, but at least as of the making of this video, these items are back. Currently, it is unknown if this is just for a limited time or if this might be a new permanent installation that he's going to carry with him, but if you're in need of some of the more valuable and lucrative named items that he carries, like the Harvest, the Chill Out, etc., there has never been a better time to farm the Loot Goblin than right now, so I figured we would do a quick recap and rundown of how to do so for all of the newer and returning players that have joined back in the recent weeks. So yeah, we'll get right to it. Quickly before we dive in, I have to give a huge shout out and thank you to our channel members. Your ongoing support is beyond appreciated, more than I can say, but without further ado, let's get into this rundown. Alright, so when we talk about the Loot Goblin in the Division 2, some of you, I'm sure, are like, I know 100% what that is, farmed him a million times, but I'm sure there's some of you out there who either don't really know what I'm talking about or have just never experienced this whatsoever, so I just wanted to give a very brief recap of what he is, what the purpose is of doing this. The Loot Goblin is a random enemy that you can find in a variety of places across the world, right? You'll just be running around, and all of a sudden this guy will come and sneak up on you. He's got a big sack of loot on his back, and when you shoot and then kill him, he drops a bunch of items for you to collect. Now, the whole reason that he is pretty lucrative to farm these days is because he is the only source for you to go and farm duplicate copies of event items. This means when they do limited time events like the winter event, the summer event, things like that, once you unlock that item from the project chain, it then goes into the Loot Goblin's rotation, and he becomes the most efficient way to farm repeat copies if you want additional rolls, if you want to donate that stuff to expertise. So there can be a lot of value in farming him, right? But if he spawns everywhere, then how do you consistently find him to farm him? Well, that's what I want to go over right now. So everybody has their own preferences and methods on this. I'm just going to show you what I personally use to most effectively farm him. There are typically 3 locations that I like to go and check to see if he will spawn. One of those is right down here at the DZ South gate. Be sure you're not going to the checkpoint itself, but the actual gate in the open world right here. The other spot is up at the Jefferson Trade Center mission right there, and then the last spot is over here at the Lincoln Memorial. Those are the 3 spots that I tend to have the most success with in terms of getting him to consistently spawn. Basically, you go to one, you run around a little bit, you see if he shows up. So let's try it right now in a live demo. We're going to go to the DZ South gate. Once I'm here, I'm then going to turn around and head this way, and something just popped up on our radar. That could very well be him. And yep, you hear that distinctive clanking. This is him right here. He's got a very unique look with the bag and everything on his back. All we have to do is shoot him down, and now we should see those 4 drops. We got the well, that's a different named item, but we got the Harvest, the First Sight, the Slayer, and the O Carol. We got actually 6 named items, even though these 2 are not a part of that same pool, but some very good drops here. And so that's all there is to it. Now, once you find him and take him down, I'm sure the next question in mind is, well, how do I do it again? How do I do this repeatedly? Once again, people have their own methods, their own preferences. What I always found has worked best for me is to go in your menu, quickly log out, and then we're just going to log right back in, and then wherever it puts you, it'll normally port you to a settlement or a safe room. Alright, so we're here at the castle. You would then open up your map and go right back to the same spot. Now, just for demonstration's sake, I'm going to go up here to Jefferson Trade Center, see if we can get him at this alternative spawn spot. Now, if I go here, I'm going to turn around and see if we'll get him here as well. Normally, he'll climb out of this manhole. Looks like we didn't get him this time. And that's the thing. This isn't like a 100% guaranteed chance that he's going to show up every single time. Oh, he did! He did! Look at that. I didn't know he could come from over there. Well, there we go. We got him second time. And if I shoot him again, then we got our next set of 4 items. Harvest, First Sight, Festive Delivery, and Oak Carol. Well, there you go. There's some streamer RNG for you. But no, yeah, it's not a guaranteed chance. If you don't find him when you do this method, then I would recommend just logging out, doing it again. If you want to try a different one of those recommended spots, you can. But that is just about everything that you need to know for this farm. So that is about all there is to it, folks. I hope it was useful in this video to see this loot buff in action, explaining how the Hoarder works if you didn't already know. And yeah, while there is a variety of items that he can possibly drop, some of the ones that are more popular and actually somewhat useful in gameplay and builds, like the chill out, the cooler, the harvest, the handbasket, all of these are available right now. So jump in there. Best of luck if you do decide to go and farm him. At this point, I turn it over to you all. If you have any thoughts about this loot buff, I'd love to hear it down below. Additionally, if you have any questions about how this all works that I did not cover in the guide, certainly feel free to leave that as well. If you enjoyed the video and you want to stay tuned for all of my future Division 2 coverage, including further guides like this, news, everything else, then I hope you'll consider clicking that subscribe button. We'd love to have you around. That's going to do it for me today though, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold out.